Hello guys, today we're taking a look at two new releases from James Mccabe. Now this is one of the Dartmouth brands, if you didn't know. So they do own Spinnaker, Dufa, Aviate, and I believe another brand as well. And these are their new releases. I think they look a lot better than their older releases. As you can see, one on the left is an automatic, and the one on the right is a Swiss Quartz GMT watch. Now both kind of come from the same group. Now they're kind of aged and scratched on the dials, as you can see. Obviously it's not really scratched, it's just faux scratched, but I think it looks pretty cool. Now the one on the left is the Gravel Black Baja automatic diver, and the one on the right is the Gravel Blue Baja GMT. Price points, this one on the left sells for about $780 US, and the one on the right sells for about, the quartz one's a bit cheaper at about $520 US. But I believe there is discount codes. You can check on their website. You can probably save 15 or 20% on both of these watches. I will leave a link down in the description below. Let's start with the one on the left. Now this one I probably like a little better than the other GMT watch. This one is kind of has like a faux finishing. It appears to be aged, but it's not actually really aged. I think it's really cool. Anyway, this watch features 200 meters of water resistance with a screw-down crown. So it's definitely a true dive watch if you wanted to use it for that. Most of us watch people really don't, though. Probably more of a desk diver. Now anyway, this watch, in terms of specifications, we are looking at about a 41 millimeter diameter, so it's not that big. Perfect size for a dive watch. In terms of case thickness, we're looking at 13.3 millimeters. And in terms of lug-to-lug, we're looking at about 47 millimeters. With a lug width of 20 millimeters. And we do get a 120 click rotating unidirectional bezel, which does line up perfectly. As you can see, it does have a black scratched faux dial, as you can see there, which is pretty cool. Long loomed hands with super luminova, as well as the applied indexes, which I think is pretty cool. The crown as well is signed, and let's get a closer look at that finishing. As you can see, it kind of looks aged, like an aged nickel or something like that, as well as the Jubilee bracelet, which is actually really nice. That they used on this model, which comes equipped with solid end links and a butterfly clasp, which is pretty cool. So anyway, getting into the actual movement of this watch, it's using the Seiko SNZH55 movement with a quick set date, hacking, hand winding, about a 40-hour power reserve, and most of you guys are very familiar with this movement. It's very accurate as well. We do get a hardened mineral crystal, which is a bit of a letdown. At this price point, I would definitely be expecting a sapphire crystal with anti-reflective coating. As you can see, there is anti-reflective coating on this hardened mineral crystal, and it does feel pretty durable as well. Popping the bracelet, as you can see, the butterfly clasp there, which gets the job done. Through the exhibition case back, it is signed JM. On the screw-down case back, and I think they did a nice neat job on the case back and specification writing. You do get a glimpse of the Seiko SNZH55 automatic caliber. The bezel action is fairly good on this watch with minimal backplay, and it's very grippable. As you can see here, you have some nice grip on here, and I have no issues with the bezel action. I think it's perfect here. The dial orientation is very legible, very symmetric with the 12 and the 6 here. The crown's pretty easy to grasp as well. Pops out, we get self-winding. Of course, we get a quick set date here, and then we get our hacking position where we can set the time. So everything functions as it should with no quality control issues or anything like that. And let me throw this on my 6.5-inch wrist and show you exactly what she looks like. Here's the watch on my 6.5-inch wrist, and as you can see, lug to lug and across, it fits just fine. You can actually see that crystal poking a bit above the rotating bezel, which is kind of nice. The bracelet definitely has that aged look. It's a very nice bracelet, very similar to kind of like the Super Jubilee bracelets. Now off the wrist, heading straight to a lume shot, as you can see. The lume is not, I would call super potent, but it definitely is legible. It does glow green. There's a bit more lume applied on the hands themselves than the actual markers, but it definitely does appear a bit brighter in real life. Now that we took a look at this one, let's take a look at the bit more affordable GMT watch, which is a pretty nice watch as well. Definitely a bit different in terms of design, but I think this one obviously is a bit better quality. It has some nice heft to it as well. The case finishing is really cool, and the Jubilee bracelet's definitely really nice. Definitely has that aged look, as you can see there, which I don't really know how they do that, but they did a pretty good job on it. It definitely does look like it's been used, or not used, but definitely looks like it's been stored for quite some time. Obviously it's a brand new watch though. But let's get on to the GMT. Now here in front of you is the Baja GMT, which is run by a Swiss quartz movement. It comes from the same line of watches, but it's obviously a little cheaper due to the nature it does have a quartz movement, which is much cheaper. Now this watch itself is much lighter in feeling. Obviously it doesn't have an automatic caliber, and the exact model number, as you can see on the James Mccabe Belfast London tag here, is JM1036-01. There are a few different variants of this exact model if you want to check on their website after the review. Anyway, some basic specifications on this watch. We are looking at a 40mm case with a thickness of 11mm, so it is a bit thinner than the other one. Considering we do have that quartz movement, it allows it to be much thinner. We do have a 20mm lug width here, 47 lug to lug. We get a 120 click GMT Pepsi style bezel, which for you people that really like the Pepsi GMTs from Rolex and such, and a bunch of other brands as well, you'll definitely like this watch as well, I think. This watch does feature the same hardened mineral crystal, a Swiss quartz Rana GMT movement, so you can hold a couple different time zones on this watch, great for traveling and such. It does also feature 100 meters of water resistance, so you can definitely take this one swimming, although not on this genuine leather band. You definitely have to throw it on a NATO strap or a rubber strap if you wanted to do that. This one does not feature an exhibition case back, of course, screwed down stainless steel JM logo, some basic specifications, all solid stainless steel, of course. Both of these watches are crafted of solid 316L stainless steel. Now, this watch features the same kind of scratch dial. If I get it under the light, you can see it just fine there. And I think it's pretty cool. It does say GMT 100 meters, James Mccabe logo. You get an applied 12, 6, and 9 applied indexes, which are loomed, as well as the hands, which are sort of in like a semi-Dauphine style and are brushed. A nice blue GMT hand, which matches the blue over here, which is kind of faded to make it look a little vintage, which I think is a nice little cue there. The crown is screwed down, very easy to adjust. First position obviously is nothing on a quartz movement, and then we get our quick set date, which is quite snappy, and the other way we get a adjustable or self-adjustable GMT hand, very easy to use, and then our final position we can set the time here. So very easy to use, easy to pull out and screw in as well. The finishing on the watch remains the same as the automatic variant in this series. As you can see, that nice aged look there, very nice case cut, no sharpness or anything like that. The band itself is in a blue genuine leather, kind of very soft, and as you can see, stated genuine leather on the back. The state James Mccabe Belfast London there. Now the buckle on this one is a bit different. We do get the same aged look on the buckle, which is kind of cool. JM there, pretty standard. They used most of these style buckles across most of their watches. And now the GMT bezel itself, as you can see right now, is 120 clicks, and you can pretty much line it up anywhere you want to set a second time zone there. And let's see what the lume is like on this model. Here is a lume shot of the Baja GMT. Green, it does glow green. It's some type of superluminova. And yeah, it's not that potent, I'd say, but it isn't that bad either. Here's the watch on my 6.5 inch wrist. This one definitely wears a bit smaller, or at least feels a bit smaller due to the thickness being 2 or 3 millimeters thinner than the other one. The band itself is pretty comfortable though, very smooth to the hands. This one, definitely a good everyday watch or a travel watch if you want something to use. That's of good quality. It definitely is of good quality, this watch here. The bezel is very easy to use as well when it's on the wrist. And I don't see an issue or anything like that on the wrist here. So there you have it, guys. These are the two new James Mccabe watches from their new Baja series, which kind of came out silently. And yeah, I think it's a pretty cool addition to their lineup. Obviously, they do have some cheaper watches as well, using 8215s and such, I believe. But these two definitely really caught my eye. Let me know what you guys think about these watches down in the comment section below, as usual. Definitely throw this video a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel. I have a lot of cool stuff coming up for review. So definitely stay tuned, guys. I will see you guys on the next video. Bye.